All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the GitLab 16.0 release kickoff call. I'm Mike Floten. I'm VP of Product Management here at GitLab. I am super excited to be joined today by a fabulous cast of characters. We're going to talk about all the great stuff we have planned in 16.10. On planning, as a reminder, we plan ambitiously at GitLab. So we do our best to keep to our plans. They're subject to change due to unforeseen circumstances. And finally, I'm especially pleased to announce that we've started a new fiscal year here at GitLab, and we've refreshed our product investment themes. So you're going to hear about some new themes today. First, you're going to hear about enabling AI ML efficiencies across DevSecOps. You're going to hear about driving use case adoption to fully realize value. You're going to hear about differentiating on the DevSecOps platform. And finally, strengthening our SaaS deployments and capabilities. So without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Melissa, our first speaker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Ushakov, and I'm representing the dev section and monitor. And I'm excited to talk to you about the stuff we're doing with the new themes. So I'll start with enabling AI ML efficiencies across DevSecOps. The first thing that I'll talk about is the ability to add an AI summary on a new merge request screen. So there's an experimental version of this out there already, but we're iterating on what's there based on your feedback. And what we heard is that you want greater control over the content of the summary, and you want it to fit better into your workflow. So this is what the new version will look like, where you're able to, at the time that you're editing a merge request description, you can use AI to enable what is there, and then you can edit it to better fit what you want to convey to your readers. So this is expected to drive efficiency. You won't have to spend time writing a description. Next is we're iterating on a capability that was released recently, which is the ability to see all the different checks associated to a merge request. It looks something like this. So this is an extension of what we have already, which is merge when pipelines pass, but it's now when all different checks pass. So this will allow engineers to set this and go about their day without having to come back to the merge request and check on the status of all the other checks before being able to click merge. Now moving on to the theme of differentiate on DevSecOps platform. Sorry, there's another one, which is the ability around the AI, which is the ability to have GitLab Duo in chat in JetBrains IDE. So this is bringing all the goodness of GitLab Duo to your workflow within JetBrains. So it makes it easier to access these new capabilities. All right, now for real, moving on to differentiate on DevSecOps platform. The first thing that I will highlight is the ability to enable the Web IDE extension marketplace on GitLab.com. And this has been a long requested feature because now you'll be able to have all your favorite extensions on the Web IDE. So all the things that you used to be able to do on your normal IDE on the Web IDE. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of experimental features that we're working on Wiki. So Wiki is getting some love, and we're adding new experimental capabilities based on what you've told us you need. The first one being the ability to have templates for wikis, and it will look very similar to what you have on issues. And this is important because generally when people are creating knowledge, there's a structured way that you want to display that information. If you think of things like a documentations page or a project page, usually there's a common format. So now you'll be able to define that and have better efficiency when creating wiki pages and more consistency. The next thing that we're working on is in the theme of bringing Wiki closer to the rest of GitLab. And how we're doing that is through being able to reference a wiki within a issue or a comment, basically in our rich text editor. And this makes it easier to cross-link information across issues and epics, which are ephemeral, and wiki pages, which are more permanent places where you store knowledge. And lastly, I will highlight something that our monitor team is doing for those of you that use the instrumentation that we have in GitLab, is that you'll be able to have additional attributes that are stored with your analytics. So this is important because sometimes you want to further dissect a specific event based on metadata, like, for example, we want to use this in plan for our work items where there's different work item types. And you might want to be able to dissect based on that. So it just helps you better understand usage and how contributions are being used. And that's it for me. I'll pass it over to the next presenter.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Melissa. Those are some really great things you're working on. My name is Jackie Porter. I am the Director of Product over the CI section, and I'm kicking off the CI/CD sections for 16.10. These sections support developers, platform engineers to effectively complete their automation, configuration, and operations tasks inside of GitLab after they commit their code. These stages within this section are verify, package, and deploy, and we have a few investments. Under the first theme, differentiate DevSecOps platform, we have several teams contributing to our Google Cloud experience, which is to improve how platform engineers and developers more efficiently deploy to Google Cloud. First up, our Runner SaaS team is working on a infrastructure improvement, which is a template called Grit that will automate the creation of Runner and GCP infrastructure across the two platforms. Pipeline execution is also working hard to make some improvements on the front end and help create a guided experience so that a user can easily set up those Grit templates that the Runner team is building. And then finally, our package group is going to be building out this Google Artifact Registry integration, finalizing the implementation of Artifact Registry services and parameters so that the UX between GCP and GitLab are seamless, secure, and super easy to use, laying a foundation of a super powerful supply chain security narrative. The package team is also hard at work adding metadata to container images. So it can make it easier for people to easily search and sort and paginate container images, saving time and making it easier to use our container registry. Another key theme that we're working on this release is driving use case adoption to fully realize value. The CI/CD catalog is a key investment that we've been working on for quite some time. And a really important piece of that picture is to be able to support components on self-managed instances. So we're really excited to be contributing a proof of concept and eventually a feature set that will bring about distribution of components for self-managed customers. The CI/CD catalog is also going to be complemented by our work on our Runner SaaS group related to CI steps, which will be how we support GitHub compatibility syntax. This release, we're continuing to iterate and enrich this capability by adding some syntactic sugar so the configuration is even easier to use inside of our existing YAML configuration. And then finally, we know that our users are continuing to leverage external CI tools within GitLab. And there's been this bug out there for quite some time where they rely on commit statuses from these external CI tools. And when you have an external CI tool, you're not necessarily going to enable GitLab CI/CD. And that means that that external commit is not being received by GitLab. So in this milestone, we're working to support that external commit status to be received when GitLab CI/CD is disabled. This will help enrich that platform ecosystem experience from GitLab CI/CD that many of our customers have been waiting for quite some time. In the same theme, deploy group is also working on driving Kubernetes adoption within the cluster UI. The new UI is going to provide real-time connection and visibility into the user's Kubernetes cluster from the GitLab UI, making it easier to support developer troubleshooting related to deployment activities beyond the pipeline. And then for this particular milestone, the team will be working to redesign the environments page, allowing more space for cluster data to be in that same context. And then for the final theme that these groups will be working on, strengthen our SaaS deployments and capabilities. Many of the team are going to be contributing to our category direction of cells. We're going to be scoping out cells 1.0 and thinking about the impacts of cells across CI and package groups. That wraps it up for the CI/CD sections. This is by no means a comprehensive list of everything we're working on. I'll pass it over to Taylor to present data science.
Awesome. Thanks, Jackie. Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor McCaslin. I'm a group manager of product for our data science section. Everything we work on in the data science section supports our theme of enabling AI ML efficiencies across DevSecOps. Let's get started with the AI-powered stage, which helps GitLab build ML technologies into our software, largely focused on GitLab Duo. If you missed it, 16.9 expands access of Duo Chat to both premium users and self-managed. We are working towards the GA of Duo Chat, and so the team is focused on increasing quality, improving stability, decreasing latency, and improving the contextual awareness of chat as we move towards Chat GA. They're also working on the ability for GitLab Duo banning, which is essentially a settings option that will allow customers to disable AI features on sensitive projects that they maybe don't want AI to be used on. This will give more control to organizations on how they interact and roll out AI to their organizations. Next, I want to talk about the AI model validation team and their work with Duo Chat and their framework, which is essentially focused on improving the accuracy of chat answers by systematically using the evaluation framework of prompts in the development process. Basically, as we make code changes to Duo Chat, we want to test a lot of different prompts that you might ask of Duo Chat and make sure that we're improving the quality of chat and not harming it. So we have a whole system for how that works, and we're improving how that is infused into our development cycle. Next, I want to talk about our model ops stage, which helps customers build AI ML into their software. We have been focused on building the model registry, which had its experimental release in 16.8. Now that it is available as an experiment, we are continuing on with improvements to the UI, as well as fixing bugs that have come up from that experimental release. The model registry helps organizations manage the life cycle of machine learning models using GitLab. If you're familiar with our package registry, it's very similar to that, just for machine learning models. Next, we are also working towards the experimental release of a new product called AI Agents, which is aimed at helping customers build simple chatbot experiences on top of our AI framework and Duo Chat technologies. This will be useful for organizations who need to create simple chatbots grounded on content like their documentation or their wiki sites. You'll essentially be able to create a system prompt, choose a model that's supported in our framework, and you'll get a very similar to Duo Chat chatbot that you can embed on your website. There's a lot to do here, so we're not quite certain if this is going to make experimental release in 16.10, but it's our main focus for our model apps stage. And that concludes all of the data science section updates. I'll hand it off to Ben to talk about manage and core platforms.
Thanks, Taylor. Hey, everybody. I'm Ben Venker. I'm the Senior Product Manager for the Global Search team, and I'll be covering today our Manage and Core Platform highlights. This milestone, we're mostly focusing on the world-class DevOps experience and maintenance OKR themes. So I'll get down to it, starting off with Foundations, which is kicking off the design tokens pilot. One of the key aspects that will enable is dark mode to GA, and then some accessibility-focused themes as well. Tenant Scale is making some changes to allow support for an organization-level activity page, which means you'll be able to finally go to one place and kind of view the overall activity across your organization on GitLab, so that you can see, what your entire teams are, all your different teams are up to. And then on the Geo side, we've got unified backup. So what that means is we'll have a much more consolidated backup experience, no more tarballing all of your repositories and projects into one single file. So that should be a major improvement for cloud native later in the iteration, but then also for GDK, Linux packages, and GitLab Docker images. And then the server-side repository backups as well, to go along with the unified MVC backups. Ref table support for Gitly in GitLab will be a big performance improvement for storage. It's a new data structuring Git that Gitly will be supporting as part of this iteration. Should make a big improvement to Gitly performance overall for customers who are utilizing it. And then in the distribution realm, support for OpenShift 4.14, and then also Kubernetes 1.27. So that'll be a big improvement for customers who have been asking for those features as well. That's a big customer demand on the distribution side. And then on the search side, we're improving the relevance of advanced search by adding some query types and kind of combining some query types together. And then also continuing with our Zookt rollout. So on .com, we've been rolling out indexing of namespaces into Zookt for searching and then incrementally enabling searching as well. So that's been progressing really nicely. We're doing larger namespaces now, and we'll continue to roll that out as time goes on. And that's it for Manage and Foundations. I'll pass it on to the next presenter.
And Sam, I believe that's you.
See, John, are you presenting for the sec section?
Yes, I can take the sec section, Sam. Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so hi, everybody. I'm John Crowley, Senior Product Manager for Composition Analysis. I'm going to cover secure and govern. So let's jump in and talk about authentication. So authentication will be wrapping up work for Google Cloud Integration Private Preview for the onboarding work stream to simplify and secure usage of Google Cloud. Also from authentication, they will be adding the ability to use a customizable name and email address for service accounts, making it easier for users to identify service accounts and rely on their defined values for filtering. Moving on to authorization. Authorization will be building new permissions to add custom roles. This will reduce the number of owners and maintainers in groups and projects, which causes overprivileged users. The permissions they are focused on include managing CI/CD variables, managing compliance frameworks, managing security policies, and deleting groups. In addition to new permissions, authorization will be making some UI enhancements to simplify custom role creation and for viewing custom roles. Next up, we have security policies. They'll be working to release their security policy scope experiment to GA, allowing for security and compliance teams to create controls with policies and granularly enforce them globally across their instance, groups, subgroups, and projects. Security policies will also be focused on starting work to display security policy violation details to users. Users will see a bot comment that will supply details to them so they can better troubleshoot violations. On to compliance. First up, compliance is working towards giving users the ability to display security policies that have been scoped or linked to compliance frameworks, which will provide better insight to compliance managers. Also from compliance, they are working on defining a migration workflow to aid users in moving from compliance pipelines to security policies, allowing users to leverage the new pipeline execution, which is currently available as an experiment. For threat insights, they're working to add additional filters for the project and group dependency list. This will allow users to filter by component and packager. Outside of adding additional filters, Threat Insights will also be working on optimizing the vulnerability report page and the dependency list at the group level. This will provide a better experience for users by improving execution time of the queries that propagate data to these pages. And for the secure stage, we'll start with DAST. The first item for DAST is focused on a number of improvements to the browser-based DAST crawler. This will reduce the length of time DAST scans take. Some initial benchmarking has indicated that maintaining a consistent browser state when optimizing navigation paths will lead to a 20% performance improvement. DAST is also beginning planning work for API discovery for Python Flask. This work will support users in automatically generating open API specs and should drive adoption while also ensuring customers are more easily able to secure their APIs. And for SAST, I'm going to verbalize the top two initiatives for the SAST milestone. The first is improving results accuracy by updating SAST rules and consolidating language-specific analyzers to SemGroup-based scanning. Also from SAST, they're testing pre-received secret scanning at scale and working towards a beta release on GitLab.com. And last up, we have composition analysis. So the composition analysis team is working to start continuous vulnerability scanning for container registry. This is going to give more timely insights to container registry users regarding any vulnerabilities that are added to the GitLab advisory database, while also reducing the need to reinitiate a scan to receive updated scan results. And that's it for us. I'll pass it back to Mike.
Thanks, John. And sorry again about mixing up presenters, but fantastic job stepping in there. And really, that goes for everybody. There's so much great stuff coming in 16.10. It's basically impossible for me to pick any favorites. So this is the part of the call I hate, where I have to pick the highlights. But things that jumped out at me, iterations on MR summarization with Duo. That's fantastic. Such a high value feature for customers. Amazing to see Wiki getting some love and with templates and issues and comment mentions. Fantastic. Love the simplifications to runner creation and configuration. The continued evolution of the catalog and GitHub compatibility is fantastic. The evolution of Duo Chat and model registry, super exciting as kind of a growth area in model ops for us at GitLab. So love to see the progress there. Cloud Connector, really excited to see that Duo Chat's going to be generally available for self-managed customers. That's a huge win from a value perspective. Security policy scope updates. I think customers are going to be thrilled about that one. So really, really great to hear about that, as well as better filtering on dependency lists and vulnerability remediation. That really, I think, is going to help security teams focus on remediating what matters most first. So I want to thank all of our presenters, but also all of you who tuned in and took time out of your busy days. We may have said it before, but I really do mean it when I say I think this might be our best release ever. So thanks, everybody.